What's going on, folks? What is up? Um, I just saw Monoxide's video, clearly and aptly titled "Death in Wrestling," and I think this subject, as far as my views are concerned, is a very touchy subject because it hits close to home with some of us, probably most of us, when it comes to having a hero of yours die and not being able to grasp the fact that they're gone. So, um, that's the death that affected me. I would say, but yet I would agree, I was a little young, but yet I did see a lot of Owens matches. Three and the three noticeables. I mean, Owen, Owen Hart. I mean, I didn't see the pay per view. I didn't see Over the Edge in '99. But as soon as the pay per view was off the air, news hit quickly about his death, and it was very sad because a couple of years before that, no, 2 years before that, Brett left under controversial circumstances, as many of you might know, or know either way. Um, it was '97, and 2 years later, Owen Hart disappears. Owen Hart comes back in what the end, the latter part of '97. Has the feud with Triple H for the European title, and you would think this is gonna be the second coming of the Hearts. You know, Dubbed the Black Heart. He was a part of the Nation for quite some time, but he was getting back to that blue blazer gimmick that he was mostly popular on. I mean, Blue Blazer was Owen Hart in the early late '80s, you know, and when that accident happened, it floored me. And that night on Raw afterwards was very emotional. Everybody was hurt. I mean, Jarrett was there, Foley was there, Austin was there. And it was at the peak of the Attitude Era. It was at that peak. It was at that summit. So for that to happen was a blow, and and we know how that was. But I'm not going to like one specific one. I'm going to those three. I mean, Owen Hart, it was just painful to watch. And then for Brett, who was in WCW at the time, to hold, you know, him against Benoit, which I will get to Benoit later in a couple of seconds. To have that tribute for Owen, Brett and Benoit, that match, to be held in the same place that Owen passed in Kansas City was, was a good tribute, and it made a lot of good. I know that is like one specific. Um, Eddie Guerrero was a success story. I mean, the man had a lot of problems. He got into a vicious car accident. He was addicted to a lot of drugs, and it messed up his psyche somewhat. But I mean, it was big impact when Eddie passed. And for those of you that don't have the Eddie Guerrero DVD, I forgot the name of it, and I have it. I just, it was just cheating death and stealing life. I think it is. Uh, that was a very well produced documentary on Guerrero, and it was very well done. I mean, that to me was one of the best documentaries that WWE has ever produced. And I recommend anybody that does not have that DVD, please look for it on Amazon or go to a Hastings and try to find it. I mean, it's a great buy. It's a must buy, and it's a great documentary. I mean, it's just. But Eddie Guerrero's death, I mean, because this is the thing, this is the connection I have between Eddie Guerrero and Chris Benoit, in my view. Um, they both had pay per view matches in Houston, like, I think 2 years apart, or 1 year apart. Guerrero had his last World Heavyweight title match against Batista at No Mercy in Houston. I was there. It was the night of, and it was Eddie Guerrero's birthday to top it off. It was his birthday, and it was, what deemed to be, at the end of it all, his final title match. Him passing away a month later got to me because I was like, I was there to watch his final championship match. It was, it hurt me, it, and really did. I mean, it just got to me bad. And Benoit was even worse because Benoit was so intense and so like, like you say, he was just a damn machine. Whatever he did, he did not stop. He did not stop. He just kept going. He was full bore all the damn time. His matches are second to none. The best wrestling matches I've ever seen or watched. And my connection to Benoit too was that I was there at the first Night of Champions pay-per-view in Houston at Toyota Center. And that was the same night that Benoit no-showed. It was supposed to be CM Punk versus Benoit for the vacant ECW title. That didn't happen because Benoit no-showed, and John Morrison became the filler. And we were wondering, me and my friend Sean was wondering what happened to Benoit. Why isn't he here? Why isn't he here? And a couple of days later, word came out that he passed, and it's like, are you serious? It just, that struck me too, because that's those connections between, they're not really, it's just those little connections. You see one person, and the next they're gone. And Benoit passing was insane. My favorite moments out of those three, my moment from Owen was him against Brett. I know it's a given to say WrestleMania 10, but it's actually the SummerSlam of that year when Brett was the champion, and it was Owen Hart. It was Brett versus Owen in a steel cage. It was a great match overall. I mean, it's one of the instances where you can have an exciting cage match without blood, and they did that, for that time. Eddie Guerrero, like I said, my favorite memory of Eddie was that match he had with Batista at No Mercy, his final title match. And for those who were there live, it was afterwards. Batista celebrated Eddie's birthday, and they brought out this cake, and Batista threw the cake in Eddie's face. Everybody had a good time afterwards. This was after the cameras were off. I wish that moment was a DVD extra in that No Mercy pay-per-view DVD. I wish it was. It was one of those moments that you cannot forget for the life of me. You know, it was great. You know, one of those moments you can cherish. And my moment for Benoit, my Benoit moment, you know, it could be WrestleMania 20 between him, Triple H, and Shawn Michaels when Benoit won the title. You know, but I mean, there's a couple of them. I mean, I can't pin one Benoit memory. I mean, Benoit and Booker T and WCW in that Best of Five series for the was it the TV title? I think it was the TV title that Finley had. You know, and they had one of the best series of matches. I mean, it was great. Um, uh, Benoit's feud with Triple H, memorable. I mean, they were all great. I mean, but yeah. But what stands out was Benoit's title win. That title win between him, Triple H, and Shawn Michaels, and the rematch afterwards in Benoit's hometown, which was bittersweet. It was great. So, there you go. Those are my opinions. Those are my memories. I couldn't pin just one, one person. You know, it had to be those three. It couldn't have been anything else except those three, because those are the ones that impacted me. You know, I couldn't place it on one person. So there you go. I'll see y'all.